Welcome back to Cocoanix 3D printing. In today's video I'm modifying my Ender 3 clone and pushing it to its absolute limits, and honestly a little beyond them. This project is going to involve a huge amount of weight reduction and some extruder upgrades, so if you're into that kind of thing and you're in the right place. Without further ado, let's get into it. First things first, we have to deal with the toolhead. Right now it's running a Stealthburner, and honestly this thing's heavy. On top of that, it's missing a bunch of essential pieces after I stripped it down for my Voron build. So at that point I just went ahead and removed everything. The one thing I decided not to touch was the Clockwork 2 extruder mount, and there's a good reason for that. I found a mount online that lets you fit the Dragonburner perfectly without needing any new belt routing, which if you're ever tightened belts on one of these printers, you know it's an enormous time saver. I printed the mount and I bolted it straight onto my Dragonburner that I temporarily borrowed from my DIY tool changer project. Don't worry, it will go back before anyone notices it missing. From there, the only thing left to do was wire up power and USB-C to get everything talking to the mainboard. But there was one catch. This particular board came out of a CAN bus system, so before it would do anything useful I had to reflash it with USB firmware. A few minutes with the flashing tool and it was sorted. Once that was done, the toolhead was finally ready and operational. I ran through all of my usual checks, homing, extrusion, temperature readings, just to make sure everything was behaving before trusting with it an actual print, and the results were honestly better than I expected. Not only did the swap improve performance, but the toolhead itself is dramatically lighter. It went from 600 grams all the way down to 200 grams. That is massive weight saving on a component that is constantly accelerating and decelerating. So the impact on print quality and speed is gonna be huge. Today's video sponsor is PCBWay. If you build things, PCBWay is worth knowing about. They do PCB fabrication, CNC machining, 3D printing, and sheet metal all under one roof, with fast turnaround time and competitive pricing. And if you're new to this and not sure what to order, PCBWay has a shared project section where the community posts open source designs that you can order directly. It's a great way to get your first part made without needing to design anything from scratch. I've used them for my own projects and the quality was amazing. If you're a new user, you will also get a $5 discount on your first order. Make sure to check them out. Links in the description. Now let's get back to the video. Now let's talk about the bed, because this is where the real weight loss program begins. The bed is the single heaviest moving mass on this printer, and if you watched my previous video, remember that the y-axis was the limiting factor the whole time. It was skipping steps under load and no amount of tuning was fixing that properly. So I knew going into this project that something had to change. The first step was to fully disassemble the y-axis to make room for new parts. The first part going in is a carbon fiber carriage plate designed by my favorite 3D printing YouTuber Tommy Houghton. I took his design and modified it to fit the Mega Zero mounting system since it's not something you suppress out of the box. To actually get this plate made, I used PCBWay's laser cutting service and I have to say the experience was great. They cut the plate and shipped it all the way to Poland in under 2 weeks, which honestly blew me away for an international order. So if you've ever got a part that needs laser cutting or CNC machining, PCBWay has you covered. That carbon fiber plate alone saves around 200 grams compared to the stock setup, but that was really just a warm-up. Once it was installed, it was time for the real weight-saving move. I designed a smaller print-ready bed specifically for this machine. I printed it out of carbon fiber reinforced ASA, which gave me great strength to weight ratio and kept it stable under heat. Add it all up and the total weight saving on the y-axis alone comes out to around 1 kilogram. That's not a typo, around 1000 grams of mass removed from the single heaviest moving part of this printer. For anyone who understands how much moving mass affects ringing, skipped steps, and achievable acceleration, you know how big of a deal that is. Actually, really quick before I go further, only 1% of the people watching my videos are actually subscribed. So if you're watching this and you're not subscribed and you're enjoying the content, just hit the subscribe button. It's free, it takes half a second, and it means YouTube actually shows you the next videos. Okay, back to it. With all the mechanical changes done, it was time to prepare the G-code and actually put this thing to the test. print finished in under 6 minutes, and I want to put that for context for you. The last time I ran the same benchmark on the old heavier setup, it took 7 minutes and 54 seconds. This time it came in at 5 minutes and 32 seconds. That is an absolute insane improvement and a direct result of cutting so much weight off of moving components. Now, I'll be honest with you, the print doesn't look great. It's more of a benchy shaped object than a benchy. And if you were judging it purely on print quality, it would not win any awards. But that genuinely wasn't the point of this test. What mattered here is proving how much you can push your machine once you strip away as much unnecessary mass as possible. I did try to push the time down even further, but past a certain point the printer just wouldn't cooperate. I started running to skip steps again, along with some other weird mechanical issues that I don't think are worth chasing down for a benchmark run like this. So 5 minutes and 32 seconds is where we're landing today. That's it for this build. We went from a heavy sluggish stock setup to a significantly lighter machine with a 400 gram lighter tool head and around a kilogram removed from the y-axis. And the result speaks for themselves in that 5-minute print time. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're into 3D printing experiments like this, consider subscribing so you don't miss the next build. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one.